Cuse Countdown here in Times Square in New York City for Syracuse and West Virginia in the Pinstripe Bowl coming up in just a few days. I'm Heather Prusak alongside my analysts Kevin Barry and Ted Goldberg. A couple events that both teams participated in today. Quarterbacks Geno Smith and Ryan Nassib rang the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. A really special moment for both teams there.
Especially for Ryan Nassib. He's a finance major at the Whitman School at Syracuse. He equated it to being a college quarterback and going to an NFL stadium. Well, he's a finance student, got to be down on Wall Street, especially special for him as part of the Pinstripe Bowl experience.
I mean, did you see the look on Ryan Nassib's face? Forget kid in a candy store, kid in a candy store. This was a kid in Willy Wonka's factory. I mean, finance major, you said it yourself that this was almost like a big opportunity for him. And Coach Rowan talked about the possible networking this could open up down the road. So just in case the NFL doesn't work out for Ryan Nassib, maybe the stock exchange.
Smiles all around for both teams there, but let's head over to the matchup itself. Some news coming out of Syracuse. Running back Adonis Moore will not participate in the Pinstripe Bowl, as well as center for West Virginia, Joey Madsen. So guys, how is this really going to affect both teams there?
Well, Syracuse downplayed the effect of not having Adonis Moore. He is a big part of the tank package, so it changes things inside the 20s for Syracuse, but they basically just said one of the other running backs is just going to have to step up, whether it's Jerome Smith, Pinstripe and Gully in that tank package. That's where Adonis Moore really played most of his time, and that's where Syracuse is going to have to plug a hole.
I don't know about you, Kevin. I'm pretty cold right now, and this game might be cold. So that size, losing that size rather for the Orange really might hurt. As for Joey Madsen on West Virginia, it does affect how West Virginia blocks when the Orange goes into the Okie package. But as for pass rushing situations, Syracuse hasn't really gotten a lot of their sacks from the middle of the defensive line. They tend to get their sacks either from the secondary or from the edge rush. So it's not going to really affect pass rushing in that sense.
Well, now heading to the guys that we know will be on the field for both teams. A lot of people saying this is going to be an offensive shootout here. Both teams very high-powered offenses, but specifically West Virginia, they've been putting up power numbers all season long. Geno Smith there under center for West Virginia. So now, how is Coach Schaefer and Syracuse's defense really going to shut down the Mountaineers there?
Well, I mean, it's been video game type numbers. He throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, but Nate Hackett said that he thinks they have a video game type offense too. As far as Coach Schaefer's squad, they just have to make Geno move. He's going to be a quarterback in the NFL, but his biggest weakness is that when teams make a move like Syracuse has in the last 3 years, that's when he's not as effective. When he has to get outside the pocket and make things happen himself, either with his legs or throwing on the run, that's where he has most of his issues.
I talked to Coach Schaefer about the possibility of this game being a shootout, and he just rolled his eyes and looked at me funny. And he was just very annoyed by the whole prospect. I mean, when you take a look at the last couple of times Syracuse has played West Virginia, the Mountaineers have had a good offense for the past couple of years. Extremely prolific this year. But Syracuse knows how to shut down West Virginia. It's trying to limit those receivers. You can't shut them down. You can try to limit them, and getting Geno Smith outside the pocket where he's more likely to make mistakes.
And Ted, speaking of the last couple times that Syracuse and West Virginia have met, Syracuse has taken the last 2 games. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this revenge factor that could be in this game here. A little bit of redemption for West Virginia, a little bit. Is that kind of the feeling that you guys have been seeing from these players?
Well, there's a rivalry there. West Virginia's been a very good team. Syracuse has been on the rise, and yet Syracuse has taken them 2 of the last in their last 2 meetings. So there definitely is a little bit of edging there. You're not going to get that feeling from the players because they don't want to play it up any more than they really have to. It's a football game. They're trying to just say that's all it is. But there definitely is a little something extra here given the history over the last 2 years with these 2 squads.
I mean, every player in Syracuse and West Virginia has been talking about how excited they are to play a rivalry game in the last game of the year. West Virginia bounced to the Big 12 before this year started, so not a lot of people thought the Mountaineers and Orange would meet up, but now all the players are excited. It's another rivalry game. Marco Thomas told me he's already playing mind games with Geno Smith when they pass each other in the hotel.
And of course, the 2 will be meeting here in New York City at Yankee Stadium this Saturday for the Pinstripe Bowl. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Heather Prusak alongside Kevin Barry and Ted Goldberg. Thanks for watching.